Today we are going to discuss about the different types of postural deformities. What are the postural deformities? This is your unit 5. We already discussed all these topics in the Zoom class, in my previous Zoom class, right? So today we are going to discuss about 4 types of postural deformities, right? In your syllabus, there are 6 types of postural deformity. Today we are going to discuss about the 4 types of postural deformity. Before going through the types of deformities, first we understand what is postural deformities. Postural is related to your posture. Posture here means your body position. Body position here means the way of standing, the way of sitting, the way of lying. That is called the posture. When there is a defect in your posture, when there is a defect in your body structure, it is defined as the postural deformities, right? Whether defect in your legs, defect in your clavicle spine, defect in your lumbar region, or in simple word, in your back, defect in your hands, right? These defects are termed as, or technical termed as, postural deformities, right? These deformities may be happen due to accident. It may be hereditary, right? In the heredity which the child gets from the parents. So postural deformities are those which have defect in your posture, which have defect in your body position. That is called the postural deformities, right? Now, today, first we take a postural deformity that is called the knock knee. K-N-O-C-K, knock, K-N-E-E, knee, knock knee. The term suggests that this deformity is related to your knees or related to your legs. This is the postural deformity of your legs, that is called the knock knee. Knock knee is the deformity in which when a person is suffering from the knock knee, he or she walk, their knees strike each other, their legs strike each other or collide each other. When person walk or person run, at the time of walk, at the time of running, their knees collide each other, their knees strike each other. And there is a very minor gap between the legs. There is a minor gap between the legs. That is why the knees are collide each other or touch each other while the person are walking. For example, you have seen that the patient suffering from the polio, when the polio patient moves, their knees strike each other, right? So that is called the knock knee. Okay. There are various causes of knock knee, this deformity. In this deformity, the first cause of this deformity, that is called the rickets, R-I-C-K-E-T-S, rickets. Rickets is a disease of bone in which there will be a deformed bone. Bones are not in the proper shape. Bones are deformed, right? So when the person suffering from the ricket, they may be suffering from the knock knee, right? And it is also a hereditary deformity. For example, when the child is in the womb of mother and mother did not take the proper calcium diet, proper vitamin D diet, then after the birth of the child may be suffering from the deformed bones and later may be suffering from the knock knee. So it is also a hereditary deformity. So the mother should take care of their diet, especially calcium diet, vitamin D diet, and also take care of their immunization and vaccination. So that is the next reason. The next reason of the knock knee, that is the overweight or obesity, right? Especially in the childhood. When in the childhood, child suffering from the overweight or obesity, then there are chances that they may be suffering from the knock knee. Because as you know that all the weight of your body bear by your back or bear by your knees. When you have overweight or you are obese, then this extra amount of weight impact on your knees. And knees may be come close together or it may be move sideward to your body. It may be come close together or it may be moves sideward to your body also. Both can happen, right? So these are the main reasons of this deformity, knock knee. I hope you understand. Now come to the how you correct these deformities or this deformity, knock knee. You can correct or improve this deformity by certain types of yoga asanas, by certain types of exercises, right? Now the first asana which is useful for knock knee or helpful for knock knee, that is called the Vrikshasana or tree pose. Vrikshasana or tree pose. In this Vrikshasana, you have to stand or balance on one leg and other leg you have to put on your knees. Hand should be upward and looking up. Like this, you have to do the Vrikshasana. You already performed in my previous classes, right? This Vrikshasana. So, if you do this regularly, 10 to 15 times per day, twice, then definitely it will improve your knock. Now come to the next corrective measures, that is outward walk. Outward walk. This is also a very good exercise for those people who are suffering from the knock knee, right? In this, you have to walk on outer edges of your foot or outer edges of your feet. You have to walk on outer edges of your feet. If you do this regularly, then definitely it will improve the knock knee deformity. And gap will come between your legs, right? So this is all about the knock knee. Now come to the second deformity, that is called bow legs. Bow leg is also a deformity of legs, right? Bow legs is the vice versa of knock knee. It is the opposite of knock knee. In knock knee, legs, knees strike each other and close to each other. But in bow legs, your legs moves sideward towards your body. The legs move sidewards towards your body. In knock knee, come together, but in bow legs, the legs move sideward towards your body. And there will be wide gap between your legs. There will be wide gap between your legs, right? This deformity is called the bow leg deformity, right? This deformity have different types of causes. The first cause of this deformity, that is called the osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is the bone disease in which the bone thickness is very low. Bone may be very thin due to lack of calcium diet, due to lack of vitamin D diet, right? So that is why there is a lack of calcium diet. The people are suffering from the bow legs also. That is the osteoporosis. Second cause of this deformity, that is the ricket. Rickets, in which the bones are deformed, bones are weak, bones are not in proper shape. So that is why the people may be suffering from the bow legs. And the third reason is that is the overweight or obesity. The causes of knock-knee and bow legs both are same, right? So obesity or overweight is also a cause of this deformity, right? Due to overweight, the whole weight come on your knees and knees shifted towards your sideward of the body. So people are suffering from the bow legs. Now come to the corrective measure of bow legs. The first corrective measure of bow leg, that is called the Ardha Chakrasana. In Ardha Chakrasana, you have to stand with both legs close to each other, parallel to each other, and very close to each other, and try to bend sideward to your body. Hold this position, then repeat from other side also. Like this, you have to perform this Ardha Chakrasana, and this asana is very beneficial for bow legs. If you do this regularly, then definitely the gap will be decreased between your legs, right? Now come to the second corrective measure, that is called the Garudasana, G-A-R-U-D, Garud. Garudasana is also very good and beneficial for this deformity bow legs. In this asana, you have to balance on one leg and twist the other leg on your balancing leg, and also twist your hand in front of your face, in front of your body, like this. If you do this regularly, then definitely it will improve your bow leg deformity. Now come to the last corrective measure, that is the inward walk or inward walking. In bow legs, you have to walk on inner edges of your feet. You have to walk in inner edges of your feet. In knock-knee, you have to walk outer edges of your feet, but in bow leg, you have to walk inner edges of your feet. You have to walk at least 10 to 15 minutes, then definitely it will improve this deformity that is called the bow leg. So that is all about the bow legs deformity, that is the second deformity. Now come to the third deformity, that is called flat foot. F-L-A-T flat, F-O-O-T foot, flat foot. In this deformity of flat foot, it is also called bulgy, B-U-L-G-Y, bulgy. The foot may be in the round shape. Your foot may be in the round shape or bulgy shape, right? And there is extra amount of mass present in your feet, and there will be no curve in your feet. The feet is flat and round, and there will be no curve. You have seen that in shoe sole, there is a curve in shoe sole. Same curve present in our feet. But those people who are suffering from the flat foot, they don't have curve in their feet or in their foot. That is why it is called the flat foot. Now, how you detect this? A very simple idea, very simple process by which you can detect the flat foot, whether you are suffering from flat foot or not. You have to dip the feet into the water or immerse your feet into the water and barefooted and barefooted and print on the surface. If full print come out on the surface, it means you are suffering from the flat foot. If full print not come on the surface and there will be curve come out on the surface, then it means you are not suffering from the flat foot. Those people who are suffering flat foot, they are not allowed in the forces. Whether police force, air force, army, they are not allowed in the force. Now come to the causes of flat foot. The first cause of flat foot, that is prolonged standing. If you stand continuously for a long time, you may be suffering from the flat foot. So you don't stand continuously for a long period of time. Second causes of this deformity, poor quality shoes. If you wear heavy weight, poor quality shoes without any curve, right, then you may be suffering from the flat foot. You may be suffering from the flat foot. Or wrong standing posture. Stand on one feet. All body weight shifted on your one leg. That is also a reason of deformity. Now, come to the corrective measure. The first corrective measure, that is called the Tadasana. You already performed this asana in my previous class, right? In this, you have to come on your toes, stretch your body upward, hands upward and head upward. You have to do this 6 or 7 times twice a day, and you have to hold this position for 30 seconds at least. Then definitely this deformity will improve. Second corrective measure, that is walk on sand. Those people who are suffering from the flat foot, they suggested to walk on sand, barefooted. Barefooted, you have to walk on sand or walk on soil. If you do this regularly 10 to 15 minutes per day, then definitely it will improve your flat foot problem. Now come to the pressure over food. This is also a good exercise in which you have to take a bottle filled with water and you have to put that bottle between your feet and try to push. For example, this is a bottle, this is my feet. You have to put this bottle between your feet and push this bottle. If you do this regularly, then definitely curve will come in your feet and your deformity will improve. So that is all about the flat foot. Now come to the next deformity, that is called kyphosis. Kyphosis is also a postural deformity in which, in this deformity, this is the deformity of clavicle spine. This is called the clavicle spine. This is called the clavicle spine. In this deformity, there will be abnormal curvature of your spine. There will be abnormal curve in your spine. If there is abnormal curve in your spine, then your body, your shoulder come forward, your neck drop forward, and shoulder also have the round shape. It is also called the round shoulder. And there will be hump, there will be swelling on the back, there will be hump on the back, HUMP hump on the back, swelling on the back. That is why the shoulder drop forward, neck drop forward. Right? So this deformity is called the kyphosis. Right? In this deformity, there are various causes, like especially in the childhood, school-going children who have heavy bags on their shoulder, who carry heavy bags on their shoulder, then they are maybe suffering from this deformity that is called the kyphosis. Right? Or those have short leg or difference is leg length, then they are also suffering from this deformity kyphosis. Now come to the corrective measure of this kyphosis. The first corrective measure, that is called the Bhujangasana. In Bhujangasana, it is also called the cobra pose, in which you have to take the pro-lying position, your abdomen on the ground, your legs on the ground, and your upper body parts, upper extremities should lift upward. And your hand should be sideward to your body while looking up. You already performed this asana in my previous class. Right? If you do this regularly, then definitely it will improve your kyphosis, improve your spine, clavicle spine. Right? Improve your spine curvature. Now the second exercise, that is called backward bending exercise. All backward bending exercises are helpful in kyphosis. Backward push-ups like this, right? So all types of backward bending exercises are helpful in the kyphosis. Last asana, that is called the Dhanurasana. In this asana, you have to take the lying position. You have to flex your legs or bend your legs. Hold the legs or knees with your both hands. Your buttocks or hips should be on the ground and other body parts up. Like this, you have to perform this asana. If you do this regularly, then definitely it will improve your back. So thank you very much. I hope you understand all the stuff. Thank you.